Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the campus of Case Western Reserve University for Engineering Week and the 4th annual Engineering Game. My name's Jim Kilmer, and I'd like to welcome you all to tonight's game. We have an exciting program planned for you with 3 teams, students, faculty, and alumni, competing head-to-head on engineering and general campus knowledge to find out who will be the winner of the Engineering Game 2024. We are the only game show that dares to ask the question, do you actually think you'll pass your finals if you don't let the faculty win? And that's only a little bit of a joke because the faculty team is hungry for a win tonight. 4 years ago, the students won the initial engineering game and took home the coveted Michelson Morley Trophy. But the last 2 years, the alumni have won. The only team without a win in the E-Week engineering game is the faculty, and so we have last year's team back for one more chance at glory to see if they can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat tonight. The way we play the engineering game is we have 2 rounds. Round number 1 is based on the popular game Jeopardy! Our teams will go 1 in order and each get a question, and they take home the points value assigned to each question. We'll then have a brief intermission, during which we'll have some presentations and the awarding of the annual Goody Memorial Teaching Award. We will then continue with round 2, which is based on the game Family Feud, as our faculty, student, and alumni families try to guess what 100 students thought about our questions. Is everyone ready? Let's get started and begin to introduce our teams as we play the engineering game. So, for the first round of the engineering game, we do have Jeopardy! Our first category is CWRU History, where we'll test how much you know about the campus and its history. The second category is Total Eclipse of the Sun. What is going to be happening here in Cleveland on April 8th, 2024? Then we go back to basics, test your general engineering knowledge, and last but not least, the ever-popular Who's That Faculty, where we show you baby pictures of some of our most prominent faculty in the Case School of Engineering, and you have to guess who they are. We'll be starting tonight's program with our faculty team, who is the only team who has yet to win a space on the coveted Michelson Morley Trophy. And so, welcoming back to the engineering game, we have Dr. Harold Konemacher, we have Dr. Kathy Harper, Dr. Mike Hoare, and finally Dr. Brian Taylor. Faculty team, how are you doing tonight?
We're good.
Awesome.
Do you feel like tonight's your night? Are you ready to win the engineering game?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Our time.
Let's see if this is the year that the faculty bring home the win. Faculty, please choose your first question.
Oh, what do you think, Ben?
I'm leaning towards the eclipse questions, but
Done.
Let's just go big money. That's all I know.
Okay.
Call it.
So we want the total eclipse of the sun for 500?
Cleveland is in the path of totality for this year's April 8th eclipse. Tell me, what direction is the moon moving in order to eclipse the sun? And I don't know if we have a video there, but faculty, you should know this. Looking at some orbital mechanics, tell me what direction the moon is moving when it eclipses the sun.
Well, we know the sun is going from east to west.
We may have stumped our faculty.
Yeah, you're asking us this at nighttime. That's so mean.
10 seconds, faculty. I need an answer. What direction?
It goes like this, so I think it has to be going opposite the sun, right? So I think it has to be moving from the west to the east.
West to the east.
I think that's how I remember seeing it last time.
That is correct. The sun moves from southwest to northeast, or broadly west to east, across the United States. So that is 500 points to the faculty team. Congratulations, strong start in the 2024 engineering game. Up next, we have the student team. Tonight's student team is made up of Grant Boone. He is a senior graduating this year in 2024. Amy Budjakowski, she'll be graduating in 2026. Franco Krazelbird, coming back for another try at the engineering game, who will also be graduating this year. And Evelyn Urbanchuk, who will be graduating next year in 2025. Student team, welcome to the game. How are you feeling tonight?
It's good to be here. You know, we're going to win this year. So you can say hi to Mike Hoare for me. I love him. I saw him last year.
Trying to butter up the student or trying to butter up the faculty team. Well, you have already one ring on the Michelson Morley Trophy, but you could make it 2 tonight. Students, go ahead and choose your category.
You guys want to do who's that faculty?
Oh, that's a really hard one. All right, who's that faculty? Let's do that.
Which
4.
one? 400?
We're going for 400. Yep.
We'll put up the picture. And so this faculty member's computer and data sciences classes are famously a lot of work, but always worth it according to their students, and they manage to learn everyone's name, even in the large lecture courses. Who's this faculty?
That looks like Harold Conemaker because of his hair.
Yeah, so
That's going to be my guess also.
All right.
Final answer, students?
Yep, Harold Conemaker.
Harold Conemacher is correct. So we've taken one of the faculty members on tonight's faculty team and turned them into a question as well. That nets the students 400 points. So the remaining team, tonight's alumni team, is made up of Ian Charnas, Catherine Glass, Juan Loy Powell, and Alex Scheppelman. Alumni team, welcome to the show. How are you this evening?
Great.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jim.
Some of you are returning members of the alumni team. Do you think you'll be able to make it a three-peat, 3 in a row?
Fingers crossed.
Easily.
We can't let the faculty win.
Well, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So alumni, please choose your question.
I think we'd like to go with crew history for 500, Jim.
CWRU history for 500. Tell me, what medical detection procedure did Case alumnus Paul Lauterbur develop that helped him win the 2003 Nobel Prize? Was it a CT scan, MRI, PET scan, or an X-ray?
Let's see. It wasn't the full body CT scan. That was J.B. Ritchie. The X-ray was 100 years earlier.
Yeah. I'm thinking MRI.
MRI sounds good. I think so, yeah.
Juan, what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking CT scan or MRI, so it's one between the two of them.
Let's go with MRI. I think CT was a different person.
Final answer, alumni?
We're going to go with MRI.
It is, in fact, B, MRI. So that is 500 points to the alumni team. So a strong start for each of our 3 teams. Everyone got their 4 questions right. The students maybe played it a little conservatively and are 100 points behind, but don't worry, you've got plenty of time to catch up. However, before we do that, let's get to know some of our contestants. Going with the faculty team, Harold Conemacher is a returning member of the engineering game faculty team. But Harold, something maybe some of the students could relate to when you were a freshman in college. It seems like you had a bit of an odd first semester. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, I did. My first month on campus, some upper class students asked if I'd like to take part in a college prank, and they said it might be a little risky. Little did I know that at the end of the prank, I'd be chased by police, arrested, charged with some crimes, have to spend time in court, and then have to do community service to get my record expunged.
Nothing looks better on a college resume than community service. It's almost like work study.
I guess so. And I guess my favorite trivia was when I checked the police blotter the next week and I saw my arrest record. My bond was higher than that of a repeat molester.
Well, let's hope that was not your 15 minutes of fame, and you're going to do better here tonight by bringing it home for the faculty team. So, Harold, why don't you go ahead and pick the next question for the faculty team?
Okay, I'm going to trust my engineering faculty here and go with back to basics for 500.
Back to basics for 500. Faculty, tell me, what is the molecular weight of a polymer? Is it A, all polymers have the same molecular weight, B, greater than 100,000 grams per mole, C, a distribution, or D, less than 55,000 grams per mole?
Distribution.
We are totally trusting Mike on this one, I believe.
There is no one molecular weight.
So, final answer, faculty?
I'm confident.
Distribution C, that is in fact the correct answer. The molecular weight of a polymer is a distribution. So that's another 500 points for the faculty team and a very good start for the team looking for some victory tonight. So we'll move over to the students. On the student team, we have Grant Boone. Grant, you're doing some interesting things here on campus these days. You're actually working in ThinkBox on a very interesting project. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thanks, Jim. So there's the Student Project Fund gives money for students to do projects, and wine is turning plastic bottles into 3D printer filament, which is a fun project to spend time with friends, and also a scheme to get infinite free 3D printer filament.
A great way to help the environment as well as avoid those extortionate fees that Ian Charnas and his ilk charge for filament in the ThinkBox. I think it's all Ian's fault, even though he's no longer there. But Grant, thank you very much. And why don't you go ahead and choose the next question for the students?
All right. Let's stick with what we're good at and rise to the challenge here. Let's do Who's That Faculty for 500.
Who's That Faculty for 500? Going for the big dollars. Tell me, students, look at your screen, and who is that faculty? Your hint is this faculty member combines experiments, theory, and simulation to study fundamental problems in the polymer physics of grafted and nonlinear polymers.
That's my core. That's my core.
You sure? You sure? All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm not sure. But yeah.
Are you sure, Franco?
Yeah, it's the closest guess I got.
All right, who is Mike Hoare?
It is Mike Hoare. Congratulations, 500. Boy, we're throwing our faculty contestants under the bus. I guess I'm glad that the faculty didn't pick their own questions. That might be a little unfair, but a solid start for the students as well. 900 points in the bank. So moving back to the alumni team, on the team I just mentioned Ian Charnas, and many of you may know Ian. He is a fixture here on campus. What many of you may not know is that he is no longer with Case Western Reserve University. He has recently taken an amazing new job. Ian, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, right now I'm the senior engineer for Mark Rober. If you don't know that name, your nieces or nephews do. He's the #1 science and engineering YouTuber in the world. So he's kind of like the new Bill Nye the Science Guy or the new Mr. Wizard, depending on your age bracket. But it's a terrifically fun job. We're still very much engaged in science and engineering education, which has always been near and dear to my heart. And I'm working on some very fun projects. I can't say exactly what because of my contract, but I can say that we're sending something into space. And I can say that I've been spending a lot of time recently working with jigsaw puzzles.
So when I heard about Ian's new job, I was incredibly jealous. Ian, you had better never invite me to your new place in the Bay Area. I will beat you up and take your job. So Ian, why don't you go ahead and choose the next question for the alumni?
I think we're going to go right down the list and take CWR history for 400.
CWRU history for 400. Tell me, which of the following is the name of President and Mrs. Kaler's dog? Is it A, Adelbert, B, Case, C, Sparty, or D, Tink? What did the president name his dog?
I thought it was Adelbert.
Party seems kind of cute. Adelbert, you think? Okay.
I don't know.
Don't know.
That rings a bell, but that might just be because of Adelbert.
When you don't know the answer, they say choose C. It's slightly more than 25% of the time correct. But I could get on board with Adelbert.
I think
no
that
idea.
sounds good.
Sparty?
All right, alumni, final answer?
Alex, make the call.
Yeah, let's go with Adelbert.
Oh.
President and Mrs. Kaler both have an office in and a dog named Adelbert. That's 400 points to the alumni team.
Good job, Alex.
And we go back to the top of the list. Faculty, please choose your next question. We've got CWRU history, total eclipse of the sun, back to basics, and who's that faculty?
Do you like Eclipse or Back to Basics? We should go 400.
I think Eclipse, but
Okay, we'll go Kathy. We'll do Eclipse.
Okay, total eclipse of the sun for 400. And your question is, Several events are planned around campus to celebrate the eclipse this year. The full list is available for anyone watching on the Office of Events and Programs page. They include eclipse viewings on Freiberger Field and at the Werner and Swayze Telescope on top of the Smith Building. But tell me, where else does CWRU's astronomy department maintain a telescope? Is it Douglas Hill, Maine, Atacama, Chile, Nassau Station, Cleveland, Kitt Peak, Arizona, or Squire Valley View Farm?
I really think it's Arizona because that was what jumped into my head before the questions even came out.
Yeah, Arizona's in my mind, but if we have another thought, I'd be willing to entertain it.
What were the two Cleveland-based?
It's
not in
Maine,
Cleveland.
Chile, Nassau Station, Cleveland, Arizona, or Squire Valley View Farm.
I know they have another one that's way out of the state where they're not going to have a lot of clouds. That's
Okay.
why, and I think to remember it being Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Faculty,
So,
final answer?
We'll go Arizona.
The astronomy department does like to commute back and forth to Kitt Peak, Arizona. 400 points for the faculty.
Nicely done, Harold.
All right, students, it's time for you to choose your next question.
Do we want to take the last 400?
Yep.
I think we gotta keep up. We gotta do it.
Back to basics.
Back to-
400.
Back to basics.
Okay, back to basics for 400. We need you to evaluate this limit. For the equation you see on the screen, what is the limit of that equation?
L'Hopital's rule, right?
Yeah.
I mean, x tends to go to 0, so I think the limit. I don't know. I want to say 1, but I would not. What do you guys think?
Does the limit exist?
Well, no, it's 0 over 0 because 1 minus cosine squared x is sine squared x.
So it does not
it's
exist.
If you have paper in front of you.
rule. And wait,
Final
so
answer, students?
Does not exist.
Well, you did an amazing job of work there. I think this was a joke from the Mean Girls movie, but you are correct. The limit does not exist. 400 points to the student team. Alumni, once again, you are up. Choose another question, please.
Are we going to keep going with crew history? All right, let's do that. Crew history for 300, Jim.
CWRU history. Adelbert Gymnasium was originally built from 1918 to 1919 with what intended use? Was it a courthouse, an armory, a lecture hall, or an infirmary?
It was,
It was
armory,
most
right?
definitely armory. Yeah.
Armory, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Adelbert Hall was originally built as an armory. 300 points to the student, or to the alumni team, I'm sorry. So we're going to do one more round of Jeopardy before we go into our intermission. So as we go back to the faculty team, Dr. Kathy Harper, let's get to know you a little bit. I would like to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about what the SUSE first year experience is?
Sure. We know that a lot of people that choose engineering often don't know very much about it. Right? Some guidance counselor said, "Oh, you like math and science? Do engineering. I can't tell you what it is, but you'll be great." And we also have people that come from long lines of engineers, or they only know about a few different kinds of engineering, you know, some of the more popular ones out there. And so what we want to do is give everybody a chance to learn a little bit more about what engineering is, kinds of problems that are solved, and how engineers work together to solve problems, and give them a little flavor of all of our different types at CASE. And then if they like it, right, there's no question whether the students can be engineers or not. The question is it something that they want to be? And so if they do want to be engineers, we want to give them enough information to have it narrowed down to a few departments they want to investigate in more detail.
Well, thank you, Dr. Harper. I know we actually have a lot of prospective students out there in the audience tonight. The Office of Admissions sends out this link, so I know a lot of folks who might be coming to CASE in the fall are watching, so that's something, the SUSE first year experience, they can look into if they're interested in engineering. So, Kathy,
It's required.
Oh, well, it's required. They're going to more
It's
than look
required.
into it. They're
Yeah,
going to
we'll
do
see
it.
it.
Do you hear me? You're going to do it. Okay. So, Kathy, why don't you go ahead and pick the next question for the faculty team?
What do we want, guys? Eclipse or basics?
I trust you.
I trust you.
I like the
No
eclipse,
pressure.
so I'll pick the eclipse and one of you will answer the question. That's how this goes, right?
Okay.
Eclipse for 3, please.
Total eclipse of the sun for 300. This year, the Case Amateur Radio Club will be conducting ionospheric research during the solar eclipse. Which of these was not a research question during the solar eclipses of 1919, 1925, or 1983? Was it A, the effect of the eclipse on the ionosphere as measured through AM radio signals? B, whether the sun was shrinking? C, Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity? Or D, the prediction of solar eclipses by the Aztec calendar?
Certainly not the Einstein one. They did that.
So, shrinking? I have no idea.
So these would be experiments that were actually conducted during an eclipse.
Conducted during the eclipses of at least one of 1919, 25, and 83.
Okay, so
Why
at least
would
one
they
of
have
them,
been
not
doing the
necessarily all 3.
relativity? Mike, you said that they were doing relativity for one of them.
Yeah, they were. They were looking at the deflection of the light from a star. So they
Right.
definitely did that one.
Right, what were the other options, Jim?
So I'll give you your options one more time and then need an answer. It is A, the effect of the eclipse on the ionosphere as measured by AM radio signals. B, whether the sun is shrinking. C, Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. Or D, the prediction of solar eclipses by the Aztec calendar.
Say it's got to be shrinking sun or Aztec. Why would they study the Aztec one?
I'm not sure what we would find about a shrinking sun from it.
Need a final answer, faculty?
Oh, I might though.
I would say sun, shrinking sun.
Oh,
guess.
why not?
Final answer B, shrinking sun? Unfortunately, the only one of those theories that was not tested during an eclipse was the prediction of solar eclipses by the Aztecs. Whether the sun was shrinking was tested in the 1925 solar eclipse. So, unfortunately, the faculty are the first to fall and behind in the points. Students and alumni, you have a chance to pull ahead. So as we move ahead to the student team, next we have Amy Budzikowski. Amy, I hear that you work in the biorobotics lab. Tell us a little bit about that and why everything might be evolving into crabs.
Yeah, so I actually work in Dr. Quinn's lab within the biorobotics group. I have been working on the mechanical design for a cat robot. It's the next evolution in that particular line after our rat robot and our cockroach robot. However, over in Dr. Del Torio's lab, it does seem that everything is evolving into crabs. Now, I mean, 8 legs, they're so strong. What can't they do? Why wouldn't you turn into a crab?
Well, I feel very cheated because I did recently visit that lab and I saw all of the robotic crabs, some amazing navigation work they're doing there. But a robotic cat is, in fact, much cooler, and I'm very disappointed I didn't get to see it. So I'll come visit you in your lab. But Amy, why don't you go ahead and pick the next question for the students?
All right. Do we want to do who's that faculty again, or do we want to go back to basics? Who's that faculty? All right. Who's that faculty for 300?
Who's that faculty for 300? And if you take a look at your screen for the picture, this faculty member invented remote reader reading, a system used throughout North America, and what won the Whitkey Award for Excellence in Teaching in 2020. They're currently teaching ECSE 371.
Why do you guys?
Is that Carloni?
Who?
Is that Carloni?
Better guess than
That's the only civil engineering professor that I know.
ECSE.
No, ECSE. Oh wait, that's computer science.
No, it's computer science.
What's your guys' best guess?
I've never taken a CS class.
I've only taken Kanemacher.
A little shy on the ground with computer engineering students today.
The reader. I mean, he invented a reader. I'm trying to think.
Gosh, that's a pretty old baby picture.
I do need a final answer, students.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say Dan Lax because it looks like Dan Lax, but it's the
Daniel Lax.
Yeah, that's the name.
Unfortunately, it is not Dr. Lax. It is Larry Sears.
Oh.
And I see in my monitor that Ian Charnas, who worked very closely with Larry Sears on the creation of ThinkBox, knew the answer to that question. So the alumni were one question too late. But unfortunately, the students have also fallen. So alumni, this is your chance to move ahead. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce Juan Loy Powell. And Juan, you've got an amazing resume, but you're from around here, and you've worked with some of the local schools in doing programs in science here on campus. Tell us a little bit about some of the things you've done locally.
So I do a couple of things. Most people know about the science fair. So I'm the president of Northeastern Ohio Science and Engineering Fair. But I also coached the Mentor Science Olympiad team for many years. And I don't know if you know, but Ohio is very, very competitive nationally in that competition. So we've taken the Mentor team to state almost every single year, and then to national a few times. So it's been very rewarding, especially when it involves student STEM education, which is something I am passionate about.
Well, there certainly is a very strong presence with Science Olympiad in Ohio. I've had the pleasure to put on Mr. Wizard presentations for the elementary level Science Olympiad teams when they have their annual championship. Always a great time and great programs. So, Juan, why don't you go ahead and pick the last question for the alumni?
Wow, a lot of pressure here. We want to go, just finish out the category. Crew History for 200.
I'm sorry, Juan, say again, CWRU History 200?
Right.
Okay, and your question is, when did Case Institute of Technology and Western Reserve University merge to form Case Western Reserve University? Was it 1967, 1954, 1976, or 1941?
1967.
That's right.
Yes.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct. 1967 was the merger of the universities, and campus has never been the same since. But as a proud alum of CWRU, I know sometimes you got to make that trek from South Quad to North Quad, cross over to the other side. It's like a whole different world sometimes. So our control booth will be tallying up the scores, but now we're going to move into our intermission for a brief remark from the Dean of the Case School of Engineering, as well as the presentation of the Goody Memorial Teaching Award. We'll see you back on the other side to check the scores and move into round two. See you in a minute.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raghu Balakrishnan, the Charles H. Phipps Dean of the Case School of Engineering, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the 4th edition of the Engineering Game. During E-Week, we take time out to honor our profession and its impact on the world. It's fitting, I think, that we not only show off our knowledge, but also our collegiality and our sense of humor, and this game helps us to do just that. Once again, thank you to Jim Alex Trebek Kilmer for hosting the show in his inimitable style. I also want to thank the team who worked so hard to put this game together, and the alumni and faculty who stepped up to represent their peers. Good luck to all in pursuit of the Mickelson Morley Trophy. Also, I have the honor to introduce the winner of the Goody Memorial Teaching Award. This award is selected annually by the Engineering Honor Society Tau Beta Pi and given to a faculty member who has demonstrated exemplary commitment to undergraduate teaching. And I am pleased to announce that Sanmukh Kopanagari, James C. Wyant Assistant Professor, Computer and Data Sciences Department, has been selected for the Goody Award. Students who nominated him highlighted the crystal clear way he presents his lectures and materials. They also appreciated his approachability and understanding during office hours. My congratulations to Sanmukh, and thank you for devoting yourself to our students. Please enjoy this brief video that'll give you a better idea of who Sanmukh is and why our students say he's a top prof. Thank you.
The ultimate goal for me, in my teaching job is to create a diverse workforce of students who can give voices to different communities in shaping up the future of AI. And so what I want my students to take is, they should be able to understand the mechanics of how AI ML models work. so that they can separate the hype from the reality, and they should be able to make judgment calls about how to best use AI, what are their strengths, what are the risks or limitations in using these kind of models. So for example, I use concept maps. So the idea here is that I give them a big picture of where the particular concept lies, whichever one I'm teaching in a particular lecture, and it kind of like acts as a guiding light for the students so that they don't get lost. Apart from that, I also use some of these strategies to keep the students engaged. I have spot quizzes in my course, and the idea is that the students are encouraged to make mistakes and learn from the mistakes, but it's a low stakes assessment, so they are not penalized too much for making these mistakes, but they do get to learn from these mistakes. Sometimes I just do fun stuff like put an image of a plant which I grew in my house, or I also have a bell. This is a bell.
Yeah.
So usually at the beginning of the class, or usually in the class, I give a break somewhere in the middle. My classes are almost always at 4 p.m. so students are tired, so I try to give them breaks. So to bring them back to the attention, I need bell. At USC in my graduation, I was part of this improv group called Vidusha. In improv, we practice a lot. We have a template for various games, various performance. We practice a lot, but ultimately on the day of the performance, the success or the failure depends upon how well we have engaged the audience. And the same thing is true for lectures. I just keep on taking feedback from the students or audience in this particular case. So case students, they are definitely very smart, very hardworking. But one thing which I find really unique is that they have this sense of giving it back to the community. And a lot of the students who I've talked to, they are not just here to learn AI or computer science. They are here to learn these topics so that they can do something good for the community. And it could be because they are living in Cleveland, they understand the opportunities that has been provided to them by our university, but they also understand what is happening outside the boundaries of the university circle, where the resources are not always that available. And in some sense, that I think that's my hypothesis, that is something which instills in them this sense of giving it back to the community and taking whatever they learned or got from case and just using it to the benefit of the community. When it comes to students, in fact, the last course which I taught, it was a very difficult course. It was based on my research, so I was very passionate about it, but it was not easy. It was a very difficult course. We had the classes at 4 p.m. in the evening. And even in spite of all that, I got very good teaching evaluations, and I got nominated for this. So I think it just, more than anything, it just makes me, very happy that the students really found value in, such a difficult course. They were not like, okay, why are we doing this? They really found a value, and they found so much value that they basically nominated me for this award.
Welcome back, one and all, and congratulations again, Professor Kupanagari. The Goody Memorial Teaching Award is a prestigious award indeed. It's selected, voted on by the students of this university, so to be recognized by those that you're teaching as an outstanding teacher is truly an honor. So congratulations once again. Speaking of honors, we have the scores from round one, and it is a neck-and-neck race. The alumni and faculty are tied at 1,400 points, and the students have 1,300. So, by no means is this game out of reach for any of our teams, but now we move on to round two, where we will play Family Feud. Allow me to explain. If you've seen the TV show, we asked 100 students a series of survey questions, and they can answer whatever they would like to answer. We took the top answers and put them on our board, so each of our teams needs to think like a student. Might be a little easier for one team than the other two, and guess what case students responded to each of these questions. Points range from 1 to 100, and we're going to play 2 rounds, so we're going to adjust the points slightly. We take the Jeopardy round 1, divide those points by 15, and we use that as the starting basis for Family Feud. So the 1,400 points of the alumni and faculty becomes 94 points starting into Family Feud, and the 1,300 for the students becomes 86. Everyone got it? Let's play the feud. Faculty, you are once again up first. We asked 100 students, what is the reason for a CASE faculty member to be up and moving around at 1 in the morning?
Grant proposals do.
If it's a student, do they think about grants, or are they going to think about writing an exam or grading the homework?
It's about grading. Is the first thing.
Grading.
Yeah.
Well,
grading.
you're going to have 3 opportunities to guess every answer on the board, but 3 strikes and you're out. So tell us, what is guess number 1?
Grading.
Grading.
Show me grading. Number 1 answer on the board, 45 points. All right, so before we move any further, let's get to know one of our remaining faculty members, Professor Mike Hoare. Dr. Mike Hoare, you kind of break the mold a little bit when it comes to the perception of engineers. You weren't a nerdy kid sitting around playing video games all day in your house. You had some other interests when you were a kid. Tell us a little bit about your big hobby.
That's true. I was actually a very bad Canadian child because instead of playing hockey as a kid, I decided to be a speed skater. And so I specialized in the 1,500-meter long track race, and I was primarily an outdoor skater. I'd put Vaseline on my eyelids so they wouldn't freeze shut in the minus 40 winds.
I'm pretty sure I was one of those nerdy kids that sat at home because any sport that would have involved Vaselining my eyelids is definitely not anything you wouldn't have caught me with before the age of 18. But weirdly, now that sounds kind of fun. So faculty, take another guess, or maybe just search deep within yourself and tell me, why would you be awake at 1 in the morning?
Right, Harold, what do you like best?
I like research.
Doing research?
Okay.
Show me research. Grant writing and research, the number 2 answer. So the faculty align with what the students believe you're doing, but there's 3 more answers on the board, 3 more chances to get that full 100 points. Tell me why else you might be awake at 1 in the morning.
Do you think they actually know that we just sit there and watch YouTube videos and Netflix, or do you think we're serious?
Watch YouTube videos and respond to emails.
We do this at the same time, but I think those are 2 different answers. So which one are we going to do?
They are.
How about respond to email?
Yeah.
Go with email.
Email.
Show me email. The number 4 answer. Faculty running the board here. No strikes so far. So before we try to finish up the board, Dr. Brian Taylor, you also have some very interesting hobbies, and I am told that you have made artwork for your house out of something that a lot of engineers tend to enjoy. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so one of my Christmas presents it's a Lego artwork. It's the Great Wave off of Kanagawa. So my wife and I spent some of Christmas putting that together. It's now hanging up in our living room. And across from it, there's a Lego Jazz Quartet. And then last Christmas, I have a Lego Lunar Lander that's sitting on our that's sitting on our dining room table right now.
Once again, I am jealous, as I suspect many of the engineers out there in the audience are, because that sounds pretty much exactly the way I would love to furnish my home if my wife would let me get away with it. So tell me, faculty, 2 answers remaining on the board. Why would you stay up till 1 in the morning?
Making exams? What does everyone think?
Yeah, making an exam or an assignment.
Yeah.
Okay, show me writing an exam. The number 3 answer. 1 question away from running the board. Faculty, what else might keep you up past midnight?
Well, we got 3 tries. So how about just making lectures?
Yeah. Planning for that.
Show me writing, creating lectures. Ooh, strike 1, but 2 more chances to get that final question.
They must not like our lectures. I think we don't plan them.
Apparently they think, yeah, we don't plan them.
We plan in advance.
I always presumed in my classes that you were just kind of making it up as you went along.
That's when you really know what you're doing.
Just joking. But what else would keep you up till 1 in the morning?
Well, someone said YouTube, right?
Yeah, like watching TV or YouTube, streaming something, binging.
Show me watching YouTube. They're going to give that one to you. Count it as mischief. I think that pretty much qualifies, particularly given what's on YouTube these days. So the faculty team runs the board, and that's a great 100 points right into the bank for them. So we'll be moving on next to the student team. And students, you get another question. We've asked 100 students to tell us which professor would be the most fun at parties. The top 4 answers are on the board. Student, who would you like to go out and party with on the weekends?
I already know Mike Hoare's in there. I know it.
No,
but
let's do it. Maybe is Drew Meyer still around?
Oh, Drew Meyer. Yes.
Drew
Put that
Meyer.
one first.
Drew Meyer.
Okay, show me Drew Meyer. No. Apparently he doesn't wear his partying on his sleeve. That might be one of the best kept secrets on campus, though not any longer. One strike in the bank. But before we move on, students, Franco Kreiselberg, you're coming back here as a repeat contestant on the engineering show. But since we have last seen you, you've had some amazing things happen in your life. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days.
Yeah, I can show you actually. So it's called Artemis. So this is a tissue engineering scaffold. So it's very cool. I kind of broke it. That's why I don't want to show the whole thing. But it's a novel material pretty much for wound healing. So essentially it's a 3D Band-Aid, if you think about it. It's really simple. So it brings you all the amazing value and benefit, clinical benefit of something as complicated as a cell therapy to something as simple and even applicable at home as a Band-Aid. So that's what I've been doing. We were selected for this amazing, really prestigious pitch competition. I'm actually pitching next to Dustin Tyler, my professor there, which is going to be very fun. And we just got a $450,000 grant. So we're very happy about it.
Congratulations, Franco. That is amazing. And that's exactly what we like to see, that entrepreneurial spirit and using the education you got here at Case Western Reserve University to go out and change the world. Being nominated for South by Southwest Pitch is a great honor. So congratulations. But in the meanwhile, tell me, who would you like to go out and party after you win that pitch competition?
All right, we got to try Mike Hoare. Mike Hoare is the coolest guy I know.
Okay.
Buttering up one of the members of the faculty team, show me Michael Hoare. No.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So 2 strikes. It is entirely possible that the students might fall behind on this round. One more guess, 4 questions on the board. Tell me which faculty member.
Our physics professor with the sideburns, and his name is
Koval.
Corbin Koval. Or it's either that or Michael Gold. I'm also thinking about Michael Goldberg because Michael Goldberg seems like
it's up to you guys.
What do you guys think?
Sure, but would the engineering students know Michael Goldberg?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think
all right, let's do Corbin Koval.
Because the freshmen voted, so we got to think of who the freshmen will know.
The freshman would know Chris Butler for sure, but
Chris Butler is super
Actually,
popular.
Chris Butler's a good one. Yeah, let's go for Chris Butler.
Yeah.
Chris Butler.
Yeah, I know
Chris Butler.
Okay, show me Chris Butler. The number 4 answer. At least 16 students would like to go out on the weekends. So before we move on to our final strike, final guess, Evelyn Urbanchuk, you definitely have some miles on your frequent flyer plan, both in your professional or academic and personal lives. You've been all over the place. Tell us a little bit about your travels and where you're from.
Oh, so I'm originally from Hungary. I was born and raised there, and then I was lucky enough to finish high school in Singapore. So going back and forth between Singapore and Hungary was definitely a couple miles. And then I came here for school, and last year I was lucky enough to be one of the V.L. Snyder Fellows with Franco. And within the program, we went to San Francisco, we went to CES to Vegas, and then we went to Barcelona for a week in spring break. So I definitely had a lot of flying going on last year, which is really funny because I'm terrified of flying and planes. So.
Well, you have certainly put some miles under your belt for someone who's terrified of flying, but between Singapore and Barcelona, you definitely have been some places with outstanding food. So, Evelyn and teammates, tell us, who would you go out for food with in Singapore and Barcelona, given the chance?
Alp. Do you guys feel like Alp would be up there?
Okay, Alp Koval. Who else do you think of this? With something that
but
a lot of people have taken.
Koval doesn't lecture anymore.
Oh, okay.
So
That's a good
anyone younger than me is not going to know him well. at all.
Amy, you gotta come through. You gotta come up with a.
I know, that's what I'm trying to think of the names that I hear a lot, and really there just aren't, like, we've guessed the big ones of like Drew Meyer, Chris Butler,
I feel like that's who we would think of. But then I was trying to think who would the freshmen now think of.
I feel like I would party with Alp.
Who teaches the Susie lab?
Okay, students, I need a final answer.
Oh my God, James Bader. How about James Bader? Do you guys know James Bader?
I do not.
Oh, we can go for it.
No,
Let's do
no.
But okay, wait.
Do we think
Jason
people will know?
Bradshaw is my thought.
Oh, actually, yeah,
Bradshaw,
that's what I
Jason
would
Bradshaw.
say.
Okay, students, final answer.
Let's say Bradshaw.
Say again.
Jason Bradshaw.
Jason Bradshaw.
Jason Bradshaw. Oh, unfortunately, third strike. So only 16 points on your first round of Family Feud. Number 3 answer was Jennifer Carter. Number 2, another member of our faculty team, Harold Conemarker, made the top 4. And last but not least, Rich Bachman in the number 1 slot. So 16 points to the students, 1 round to go. We move on to the alumni for their round of Family Feud. And your question, alumni, we asked 100 students, what should everyone try at least once in Sears ThinkBox? Top 4 answers are on the board. Alumni, what would you like to try in ThinkBox?
Laser cutter.
For sure.
Laser cutters. Let's do it.
Show me laser cutter. The number 2 answer, 26 points.
Number 1.
So something still above it, 3 more answers. But before we move on to that, let's talk to one of our remaining alumni members, Alex Scheppelman. Alex, you. Just looking based on your background there and the setup you have, you're no stranger to being live on the internet. Tell us a little bit about how you spend your time.
So outside of my job, I have a YouTube channel called Super Make Something, where I teach viewers about electronics, 3D printing, and programming mostly. And I make kind of fun DIY projects and release all the design files for free so that people can go and get some hands-on experience with projects themselves while watching essentially step-by-step instructions.
So while you're up awake at 1 a.m. grading papers, make sure to bring up Super Make Something and watch Alex's YouTube channel. Alumni, 3 more guesses. What would you like to do? What's a must-do in ThinkBox?
We thinking 3D printing?
3D printing, yeah.
3D printing. Yeah.
3D printing.
Show me 3D printing. Number 1 answer, 37 points. So we still have 2 questions and 3 strikes to go. Alumni, what else might you want to do in the ThinkBox?
Oh, there's so much. I'll go.
Pizza.
Yeah, let's try Pizza ATM.
Yeah.
Show me ATM. No, unfortunately not. But before we move on to our last one, we get to meet our last contestant of the day, Catherine Glass. And Catherine, you are also no stranger to the engineering game. Why is that? Tell us a little bit about what you've done.
Yeah, so back in spring 2021, Kelly Hendricks reached out to me and a couple others with a new idea for how to do a virtual awards ceremony for the Goody Memorial Award. And under the fearless leadership of Joel Lineback, along with Tommy Moad was our other student collaborator, we came up with this game show idea, and it's been going ever since.
4 successful years and a lot of fun. And after all, if it hadn't been for you and Joel and Tommy, I would never get to be seen on the internet in a purple sequin sport coat. So, alumni, tell me, what else might you want to do in ThinkBox? 2 strikes, 2 answers left on the board.
I mean, there's so many. What is there? There's the water jet cutter. There's the vinyl cutter, embroidery machine,
Welding.
the welder. I mean, there's so many tools.
Maybe vinyl cutter?
Vinyl cutter?
Yeah, more people probably use the vinyl cutter than get to use the water jet, just based on the numbers I remember seeing.
Okay.
Want to try vinyl cutter?
Final
Vinyl
answer?
cutter.
Show me vinyl cutter. No. So,
Oh no.
2 more answers on the board.
Water
What
jet.
else might you want to do?
I'll try the water jet. Yeah. What do y'all think?
Sure, let's go for
Water
it.
jet.
Show me
Water jet cutter.
water jet.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
And 1 more answer on the board, 1 strike to go. What is our number 4 answer when we asked 100 students? What do you have to try in ThinkBox?
What
And-
about welding? I mean, it's just so cool to weld.
It is pretty cool.
Let's do it.
Nothing quite like burning a hole through sheet steel. Show me welding.
Yes.
The number 4 answer, and the alumni have also run the board. So the students may be a bit behind, but the faculty and alumni are still neck and neck. We have one round to go, and we are running low on time. So we are going to hold you to a very short time as we move on to our last round of Family Feud. It's still anyone's game, and here we go. This question is for the alumni, so we're starting in the order again. Alumni, what is in a Case School of Engineering what is in a student's Case School of Engineering Finals Week survival kit? Top 4 answers are on the board. Right? What do you need to survive finals?
Yeah, let's go with calculator first.
Yeah, TA89 or calculator.
Show me calculator. No.
All right. So they're going with coffee or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or energy drinks.
Energy drinks, coffee. Yeah.
Well, final answer?
How about energy drinks? Oh, yeah, there we go.
The control room beat it. There you go. We got coffee in the number 1 slot, 37 points. 3 answers, 2 strikes. Tell me, what else would be in your final survival kit?
Would energy drink be different?
No, that's the same.
I think it says caffeine there. What about some kind of food or snack or ramen?
Yeah, it's just snack.
Show me snacks. The number 4 answer. 2 answers, 2 strikes. What else is in your final survival kit?
We think pizza or ramen? Like, are we going food specific?
I think snacks.
It's covered by snacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we do computer?
Show me.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Show me computer.
Laptop or computer.
Oh. One strike to go, but 2 answers still on the board. What else would you make sure you absolutely have to have during finals?
A crib sheet?
Cheat sheet?
Yeah. Notes sheet.
Final answer? Show me
crib sheet.
Cheat sheet. No. But in the number 3 spot, we have a good study spot. You got to know where to study. And last but not least, in the number 2 spot, energy drinks. We're doubling up on the caffeine. So I think the alumni might have gotten a little bit robbed there, but we can't argue with the students. So we'll be moving on to our student team. We asked 100 of your peers this next question. This is your chance to come back from the brink and win this year's engineering game. Students, tell me, during the eclipse, what superpower will Dean Ragu obtain? Top 4 answers are on the board. If he's going to gain supernatural powers by standing on the quad during an eclipse, what might it be?
I want to say like super strength.
Oh, yeah, like he turns into a werewolf or something.
A werewolf.
The werewolf. Werewolf one's good.
Okay, show me werewolf. Oh, no lycanthropy allowed at Case. I believe that's not covered by the Student Services Health Plan. But there are still 4 other superpowers he might obtain. What might one of them be?
Yeah, let's go with super strength.
Super strength? Yeah, like a general one. I feel like that's good. That's good for finish.
Show me super strength. Number 4 answer, 13. We still have 3 answers above and 2 strikes to go. What superpower might Dean Ragu get from the eclipse?
Telepathy, like
I would
mind
say
reading.
mind reading.
Mind reading? Yeah, mind reading might be good.
Show me mind reading. Nope, he's not going to be able to guess who is fudging their dissertation, but he might have 3 other superpowers. What might one of those be?
Fly.
Fly, like a general superpower.
Yeah, flying's a really general.
Show me flying. The number 2 answer and a quick 29 points. 1 strike, 2 answers. What superpower is Dean Ragu really hoping for?
Heat vision or something? I'm trying to think, will any of them be like sun related, do you think?
What were you gonna say, Evelyn?
I was gonna say, will he be able to learn to like see through the walls or something?
Oh, X-ray vision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, is that one too specific?
Think about what nerdy case students might assign a superpower. What's your favorite superpower? Final answer?
Like laser eyes, or what do you guys think?
I was gonna say like shifting through walls, but I like teleportation maybe because I feel like that's a more engineering one. But
I need
Sure,
an answer.
teleportation. Let's do it. Let's do
Hey,
it.
show me
Teleportation.
teleportation.
no.
No, unfortunately not. But there were 2 answers left on the board. Number 3 answer was the Force. And the number 1 answer, waterbending. That's not usually a superpower you would associate with an eclipse, but 34K students did come up with that one. So good job, students. We'll see what those points did for you at the end of the game. But last but not least, we have our faculty team. This could be what seals the deal for you. Faculty, tell us, we asked 100 students, what is the best place to study at CWRU?
Well, there's always a bunch in the basement of Bingham, I can tell you that.
We also got the library. I say we just
Yeah,
get
I
the
think
library KSL.
Library is good too.
Final answer?
Yep.
Show
Which
me
one?
KSL. Kelvin Smith Library, the number 2 answer. So 1 more popular, but 3 others as well. Where else might students study?
Sure, let's do basement of Bingham since Kathy put that up.
Yeah.
Show me Bingham. Nice
Nice.
quiet spot. That used to be one of my hangouts many long years ago. So, top 2 answers off the board, 3 left to go, and 3 strikes still for the faculty. Faculty, where else do students love to study?
I say Nord.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
all
lot
the
of them
time.
up outside of the 5th floor, yeah.
Show me Nord. Oh. Apparently the draw of Einstein's
the dorm
Bagels
room.
Coffee is not quite
Other dorm
enough.
room.
Yep, the dorm room.
Nice.
Show me dorm room. No, 2 strikes, 3 answers left to go. 1 more chance to put some points on the board, faculty. What else might be the best place to study at CWRU in 2024?
The
What?
Tink.
I was thinking Tink too, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, show
let's
me
go with it.
the Tink. The Tinkham-Veal Center, number 4 answer. Still 2 more on the board.
A lot go to ThinkBox.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
But
plan.
there might be
Big
something
study
better.
there.
Final answer?
Can't
I
think
don't
of
have anything better. I mean, I know the Allen Museum. The Allen
Twing.
Library is cool.
Twing.
but- Twing?
ThinkBox or Twing, what do you like?
Twing. Let's do Twing.
Yeah,
Twing?
let's do that.
Show me Twing. Oh, 1 strike to go, but 2 answers remaining on the board. Faculty, last chance. Where else might a student study at Case?
You said it was ThinkBox was the other thing we
A lot of
said?
people go to ThinkBox.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Okay, are they studying to the sound of buzzing 3D printers? Show me ThinkBox. The number 3 answer. And I see students nodding over there in their group, but we have 1 answer on the board, 1 strike left to go. Faculty, where else do the students hang out when they need a quiet place to study?
Does Crawford work? Or do people not go there?
I don't think there's a whole lot of space there.
Do
Or
they go to like,
Tomlinson.
do
or
they go
something
to
like
like
that.
one of the coffee shops like Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Mm.
Like on the North Campus, there's a Starbucks.
Or do they go to do they go to Fribley or Leutner?
I need a final answer.
I don't have anything good.
I say, just say Starbucks.
Or whatever Harold says. I like
Show me
Yeah, go with it.
Starbucks. No, unfortunately, the number 5 answer and the last one on the board was Glennon. 8 students hiding in Glennon as a quiet place to study. So, not too bad. Got the top 4 answers off the board. While our control room is tallying the final results, I would like to thank each and every one of you for participating in this year's engineering game. I'd also like to give a special shout out to Catherine Glass, Tommy Mowat, and especially Joel Leinbach for putting together the engineering game, this great E-Week tradition. Thank you to the Case Alumni Association and Kelly Hendricks. Without this, would not be possible. And of course, to everyone here at Media Vision who puts together this wonderful program each year. If you think it's easy putting on a game show, try it sometime. This is an amazing effort by an awful lot of people at the Case Media Vision team. So I hope all of you will give them a great big virtual round of applause at home. And I hope all of you enjoyed this year's show. But now we get to the point where we find out who will win the coveted 4th ring on the Michelson-Morley Trophy. Will the faculty squeeze it out and get their first win in 4 years? Will the alumni make it a three-peat? Did the students manage to do enough to bring it back from the brink? Control room? And it is the faculty with 286 points, followed by the alumni with 249 and the students with 144. So donning their winning commemorative case caps, please give a great big round of applause to the faculty of Case Western Reserve University and the Case School of Engineering.
There we go.
There we go. 4 long years it took, faculty. Does it feel good?
Yes.
Of course.
4 years, just like a dissertation.
Oh, you only took 4?
It took a long time, like a dissertation.
Finally, all 3 of our teams have managed to make it onto the trophy, and this trophy will live in Nord Hall in the dean's office, reminding everyone that the faculty were the winners of the Engineering Game 2024. So once again, please give it up for our winners, the faculty. Thank you once again to the alumni and students. We hope you all had a great time. We'll see you back sometime for the next Engineering Game. Good night.